Hello, guys. Welcome to the match review between Chelsea and Crystal Palace. Chelsea earned a goalless draw in their opening EPL game at Stanford Bridge against Crystal Palace. It finished at the bridge, Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0. Now let's take a look at how Chelsea set up in that game. If we look at the starting 11 by Enzo Maresca, by the way, in my preview, I got 10 out of 11 in that selection. And prior to the match, when Enzo Maresca did his press conference on Friday, he actually made mention of the players that are still not available for selection. And that was Levi Colwill, who is actually out with ACL, Benoit Badiashile, and Wesley Fofana, though he was on the bench for the game, but not fit to actually come in. So, Enzo Maresca went with Rhys James at the right back, Marc Cucurella at the left back, and the centre backs were George Achampong and Trevor Chalobah. In goal was Robert Sanchez. The two pivot midfielders was Enzo Fernandez and Moses Caicedo. The three attacking trio was Jimmy Gittin at the left, Cole Palmer in the center, and Pedro Neto at the right wing side. And up front was Joao Pedro. Chelsea began the game with full of energy and looking like something promising was going to come out of it. But the only key moment in the game came at the 13th minute when our defender, left back, talking about Marc Cucurella, foul Will Hughes close to the edge of the box. And Eberechi stepped forward and fired brilliantly the free kick past Robert Sanchez. But the goal did not stand because VAR was called into contention here. And after the VAR review, it was noticed that McGew, talking about the Crystal Palace captain, actually disobeyed or violated the wall distance rule. That is, it was too close to the Chelsea wall. At least, the rule stated that at least 1 meter, but he was very close, and that was why the goal did not stand. That was how VAR rescued Chelsea from the game. Now, the game went on, and Chelsea was very inefficient in front of goal, despite commanding a possession of over 70%. But Chelsea could only manage 3 shots on target out of 19 attempts, all through the entire game. In fact, it was actually substitute like Gustavo William and Andre Santos that when they came in actually injected some life into the game. But they went on to miss some clear chances that ordinarily would have been converted. In fact, Andre Santos actually blasted over the post at the edge of the box from a very clean pass that was laid by Marc Cucurella. Gustavo William, on the other hand, was almost in the 18-yard box and fired wide the goal post, and Chelsea was unable to convert their chances. But I think I just have to give credit to Crystal Palace. Defensively, they were very organized. Their structure was well set up, and coupled with the physicality, and they actually used that to bully Chelsea attacking line. And that was why most of our attackers were all silent in the game. Joao Pedro gone missing. Cole Palmer was very quiet in the game. Enzo Fernandez was not there. I mean, Jimmy Gittins was bullied from that left wing side by the Palace defense line. And this call for concern. Enzo Maresca have to look at his tactical play, how to break defenses when an opponent decided to pack the balls or play deep-seated football. I mean, Chelsea was unable to penetrate the Palace defense line, and it actually called for concern. But generally, I must say, Chelsea performance tonight against Crystal Palace was I mean, I wouldn't say poor, but was just below average. The performance was below average. I mean, we expected more. I personally expected more. I knew it was definitely going to be a tough match because looking at Crystal Palace from how they got to this point, you will know that the manager of Crystal Palace definitely have been doing something that is very good. I mean, defeating Manchester City in the FA Cup last season and going all the way also this season to defeat Liverpool in the Community Shield, coming from 2 goals down, coming from behind twice to level up and went on to win the Community Shield on penalty kick. I mean, you have to give credit to Crystal Palace. So the setup of Crystal Palace was quite good. So, and that was how they actually frustrated the Chelsea attackers, and they couldn't actually penetrate their way past the Palace defense line. Now, there was one key moment again that actually called for concern, and the VAR did not actually take a look at that. Was when Robert Sanchez actually struck Maguire on the head when he went for a pull-out. And believe me, in my opinion, for the VAR not to have checked, I really don't know. Probably they thought he actually touched the ball, but that was a penalty. It was a penalty, and it was debatable. But VAR never actually take a look at that. But in general, there was also some standout performance in that game. I think I just have to give credit to George Achampong. I mean, in absence of our regular starter in that position, when Chelsea advanced to begin to form a three-man centre back, or to form a 3-man defense line, talking about Rhys James from the right back and Trevor Chalobah from the left back, George Achampong was in the middle, and he did excellently well. His performance was standout, I must say. Ordinarily, it's a position that he is not used to. George Achampong is a right back, but he played that position in absence of Levi Colwill and Tosin Adarabioyu. George Achampong did excellently well, and he was one person that was talked about after the match. And also, Gustavo Willian, that came in as a substitute, injected life into the game and tried to tricky pass those Palace physical defenders, and he did very well also, but it still did not go Chelsea way, and it ended Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0. In fact, it was a frustrating goalless draw for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and I want to believe there is no room for concern, as the EPL is a marathon, and this is 1 out of 38. I think one can begin to show concern if actually played 6, 7, 8 matches and the result is not actually going the way you expected it to go. But I must say, what Chelsea actually played a very organized and well-structured defensive Crystal Palace side, and the match actually ended draw to the happiness of Crystal Palace, I must say. So, in general, Chelsea did well, but I think we expected more, and that was how it ended at the bridge. It finished Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0, and the point was shared. What do you make of Chelsea goalless draw at the bridge against Crystal Palace? Drop your comment down below. Let the conversation continue from there. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you in my next video. Bye.